We are live. Hello and welcome. My name is Robert Lyon here with Gino Nunarov. Today we're going to be talking about using other people's money to get rich. And the more I learn about money, the more I learn about getting rich. It's all about figuring out how to get other people's money, how to get access to capital, figuring out, what to invest the money in. There's a lot that goes into it. I guess, where do you want to start? Where do you think of when someone says, how do I use other people's money to get rich? How do you do it?
Right. So I think it goes back to first, why do you need other people's money to get rich?
Yeah.
And I think that is very important to understand why and what does mean by other people's money. So you have to understand that in order for you to make more money, you need to be able to have more time. And if you don't have more time, then you need to be able to leverage other people or other people's time and or other people's money.
Yeah.
So it's remember, money and time are basically equivalent, and actually there you can make way more money than there is time. But in order to do that, you have to be able to leverage. So leverage is equivalent to having other people's money. In this case, if you want to leverage other people's money, you're going to be able to give yourself more time or bring that time span back to, if you were going to make 1 million in 20 years, you'll make that in a year by leveraging the money they have, by using their money and regurgitating it in your business.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think of using other people's money and what it means to to access that money and be able to use it to create generational wealth, and how the rich continue to get rich by using other people's money. They leverage, whether it's the banks, they leverage their network. If they have their network, that if there's people around them that are already doing it, already millionaires, they can leverage their private money and then they can invest in them. There's other ways to access other people's money, but it requires you to have the right goals and the right investments. So you need to know what you're going to do with that money, right? So having other people's money is great, but you need to be able to invest it in the right way. And what we do at Credit Leverage, we offer opportunities and how we can invest that money and multiply it. But getting access to money means using other people's money, whether it's the banks, family friend, your uncle, your dad, someone else that's giving you money that you can actually use to make more money.
Yeah. I mean, I think it comes back to like thinking bigger, right? Even if you're going to buy a house, you're very rarely are you going to pay cash and buy a house. You're going to use other people's money to get a mortgage, basically to pay for the house, and then you're going to make payments, right? And then if you're going to buy a car, you're not going to just go buy a car outright. I mean, sometimes again you can, but for the most part, you're going to get a loan, or you're going to use somebody else's hard-earned cash to better your life, to invest in your life, to get that thing, right? And a lot of times it comes down to, the investor, right? I personally have done it many times, but whenever I go broke, I know I'm going to get rich again. It's inevitable. It's an inevitable thing that if you were to put me in some, desert island, or not an island, probably some other country, and all I had was my wits and who I am, I would probably be a millionaire within a year's time, and it's just because I know how to get access to other people's money, invest it wisely, and then level up from there. So if you're really someone out there who wants to, learn how to get rich, you have to start thinking bigger. You know what I mean? People think too small. They're very like, oh, how am I gonna, get food this week? That's a very real problem to have. But if you want to become rich, right, you have to learn how to get access to other people's money, and then how to use that money wisely to make yourself a profit, to make yourself a valuable asset in the community, a valuable asset in the marketplace, so that you can scale and use other people's money to make yourself rich. Right. So it almost always comes back down to the investor, right? It doesn't, if you're completely broke right now, but you have a really good idea or a really good deal or a really good opportunity, you can try and get other people's money so that you can scale that idea and make everybody rich. Right. So it doesn't even matter how much money you have right now. It comes down to, it is a skill though. I think we could talk about that. It's like, what is the skill of getting access to other people's money? Right. The skill we teach at Credit Leverage X is how to get credit, right? We have a loophole, a system that allows people to get access to personal credit, business credit, personal loans, business loans. There's also ways where you can get grants. There's also ways where you can just like be the middleman, wholesaling, where you make money in the middle of a big transaction and things like that. So it is a skill, and it's a skill that I think everybody should educate themselves more about, as well as work on, and the main thing it comes down to is relationships. You can call 3 rich people a day. Someone's probably going to offer you an opportunity or a way to make some money, or do just about anything that you really want. Somebody's spamming us on LinkedIn. Matu Picard, you're on mute, but I mean that's pretty much what it is. It's like you need to educate yourself on how to get access to other people's money, and then you need to learn how to invest it properly and what you're going to do with the money. I mean, do you remember your first big breakthrough when you kind of had access to either credit or you had access to somebody else's money? I mean, I think just because I know your story, I mean, I think your parents, they bought a house in California, and then the first time you had maybe access to capital was because there was some investments that they made that you were able to utilize to make some more money, and you were like, oh shit, let's take this money, other people's money, and let's make it into this and this, and then look what you built with it. It's pretty impressive.
I mean, the first thing I did was, I wasn't sure about making money myself, and then when I started making money, I started realizing that I needed more of it. And once I, the first person that I could turn to is obviously your family and whoever is within your immediate, circle that you can ask that has money. My friends, none of my friends had money, so I knew I couldn't ask them. I didn't have any. I didn't have a rich uncle. I didn't have any, anybody that was just wealthy that I can go up and just ask them for money. But obviously the family was the first choice of like, hey, I think I can do this. Let me borrow some money and I'll give you a return. So the first person I got paid, was family. Was my dad. I borrowed his money. I bought a piece of property. I gave him back more money, and he was happy. So essentially, what you do is you have to leverage other people's money, and that means media, whoever else has money around you, or if you can access money using the banks. So then I realized that I didn't need anybody else, any individual, whether it's family, friend, or whatever. I could access money leveraging the bank, because I realized when I bought that property, I had to put a down payment, right? But the rest of the property, who paid for the rest of the, $400,000? That was paid out of the bank, the mortgage. So what happens is you have to buy in 20% equity in any deal. Once you have enough equity in a deal, you're able to. The banks are willing to invest the other 80%, as long as you have the 20. So I started to realize, oh well, then I can access more money or fractional spending, basically. In this case, access money into a bank or a credit union by putting in a certain amount of money and then being able to access lines of credit, personal lines of credit, and business lines of credit, on top of getting loans and all that stuff. Then it just became a game for me. It's like, well, now I'm just playing chess, but at the same time, the game is every time I play, I make money. So it's like, I just get free money all the time. So to me, it's a skill set, but you don't have to be a master at it. You don't have to know every little detail. As long as you get access to the money, and we'll help you get the access, and then you can use other people's money, and then we can teach you what to do with it. Because once you get the money, you have to know what to do with it. I knew what to do with it. I just didn't have the money. So then when I started getting the money, it was just so easy for me to just flow it into what I was doing, because I knew that I can, 5, 10, 15x. I was making 12x returns on my money. So that's insane, right? So 12 times my money, and then being able to grow, and also have the pay down and the appreciation and the depreciation on my taxes. I mean, it was just, I just started to see the big image. And at the end of the day, accessing other people's money helps you leverage, other assets that you may buy. And then you're now, you're just building, I would say you're building equity. And as you're building equity, you're now accessing other equities within yourself. And then you become self-sufficient. And then but you have to put the money in the right place. That's like a nest egg. It has to make you money, right? If you put your money in the wrong place, or you spend money on things that you like, you got to go eat tonight, or you got to go out. Maybe don't spend the money, don't go out, but put that money to use somewhere else where it can make you more money, instead of just throwing your money at Starbucks every day, throwing your money at, whether you go out to the movies, maybe cut down on that. Just remove 1 or 2 things throughout your day, and put that extra $100, $200 aside, so that way you can have a good amount of money saved to start off, and then you can start building more wealth. But but if you don't have that, your first the other access is credit. So if you don't have cash, you have to turn to credit. And credit is basically like cash, but it requires a good credibility score, and that means that you have to have good credibility on your personal side. So we have to fix that. So if that's not good, then you don't have money, then you're in a tough situation. So you have to be able to do one or the other, and by doing that, by learning the skill of accessing the bank's money, you are now not tied down to your 9 to 5. You now have a whole ocean of opportunities that you can start, picking at these banks and credit unions that are available for you. They're in the business of lending money. So if you're not seeking to get access to money, then they're not going to lend you money. They're not just going to come to you and say, "Hey, here's some money." You need to seek to get that money. You need to go look for it. You need to ask them to give it to you, and they will tell you, you know what, we can't give it to you because of so and so and so. So you go and you fix that problem, right? You go fix the issue. You say, okay, you know what? I'm going to put money in my bank. I'm going to save some money. I'm going to start taking actions in that direction. So that way I'm not depending on my job or anybody else to, make me money. So now you're going to create your own generational wealth by accessing other people's money and investing it in the right assets. And we have done it before, so we can guide you through that. So that if you haven't done it yourself, or you're doing it already, great. Just realize you can do more of it, if you really learn how to access more money, other people's money.
Yeah. I mean, I think it kind of comes down to what you've kind of taught me, where cash is kind of trash. I mean, why else would the banks just give us money? It's because cash is trash. It's what you put that money to work to do that's going to make something matter, right? And cash just sitting there doesn't do shit for us. Like, it does have a value, but for most people, it just sits there and loses value daily because of inflation, because of this, that, the other thing. So if you are able to, sit down with pen and paper and actually put down a plan where, hey, if somebody gives me $1, I'm going to turn it into $3, right? Other people are going to invest with you. Other people are going to grow with you, and they're going to invest into whatever you're trying to do. And that's how, it all starts with having a dream, right? And if you have a good dream, or if you have a good opportunity, the money that they invest into the idea, right, is going to be finding other people to sell them on your dream, see if you can fucking expand what you're doing, and then basically get their money, put it into your investment, and scale this thing. Yeah, don't talk to that guy. He's just a shenanigans, whatever. But that's pretty much what you want to do, though. It's like you want to figure out, have a good dream. Like, if basically the bank is willing to give you money, right? That means that cash is trash. But if they're willing to give you money to buy a house, a real thing, a solid investment, something that's going to really grow and go up in value, or that's something in the real world, that's the good investment for you to ask people for money. Because if somebody has a good deal on property, Gino's going to give you money for it, right? If you have a good opportunity for what people should do with their money, they're going to give you the money, right? So that's the skill. It's like finding, I don't know if opportunity is the right word. There's probably a better word for it, but it's like finding those opportunities where if somebody was to invest into it, they would get a return. That's the most powerful thing that we can do. That's the most powerful thing that you can do. And that's why people will give you more money. And that's how you can use other people's money to get yourself rich. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But you just have to, but you have to build a good relationship track record. That's what the credit score is all about, essentially. If you have a good credibility of which the lenders that you're borrowing money against, then the lenders are more likely to give you money. So when the lenders are giving you, they want to give you money because they want a return. But if you take their money and then you don't give them a return, you don't pay your interest for them that you were supposed to pay, you don't pay them your minimum payments or whatever, then they're less likely to give you money, because they're going to say, well, this guy can't even pay his minimum payments on his credit cards. How is this guy ever going to get a car or a house? Right. You have to look at yourself in the mirror, and you have to wonder, would you lend to yourself? Would you trust yourself with the money? If you can't, then you need to build your confidence and build the skills necessary to do or make the right moves, and have the right mentors to teach you how to do that. And if you don't have that, then it's going to take you years to get there. If you don't do it on your own, if you don't work
Hmm.
towards it, you're never going to get there. But if you're actually willing to work towards it, take the step now to access money and start learning how to do that, and how to, or at least help somebody help you to get your finances in order, get your credit where it needs to be, get you into the position where you are even looked at a bank. The
Right.
bank won't even look at your file. Then you know that you just killed your entire stream of income opportunity. Basically,
Yeah.
that means you're gonna have to work for the rest of your life. Like literally, you have two options. You either have to work for the rest of your life, right, or you have to basically, get access to other people's money. Those are the two options really in life. So, and unless you, and then afterwards build business. You can't build business. You can't buy real estate. You can't do any of that until you fix your credibility and your ability to make more money. So you have to
Yeah.
be able to do that, and that's what really it comes down to.
Yeah, I agree.
So
And
get
then
access to other people's money, build generational wealth, and get rich, or work forever and only make as much money as your skills allow you to. So
right.
or you have to go learn a new skill, like you have to go learn a new job. So you have to either do the work or you have to learn how to invest.
Hmm.
Those are the really, do high paying jobs, like make income doing high paying skill jobs, or learn how to invest your money and be smart about it. But also if you're going to risk taking other people's money, you better know what the hell you're doing. Because if you invest your money, and especially the bank's money, and you screw up, then you really shot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to have a good opportunity. You got to be able to be a dynamic entrepreneur and see opportunities to invest. And then also when you have that opportunity to invest, you really have to go all in,
Yeah.
It kind of like always starts for me is like, if I can turn nothing into money, then I know I can scale it, right? Like that's kind of what's cool about our business is like what we're basically going to help you improve your credit, right? Your credit is the product. Once we get your credit completely polished up, pristine, and you're credible, and then we have a system where we can get you the maximum amount of money, right? That's amazing. That's a good opportunity. And like
Yeah.
if you have a way to, solve high income worth problems, like getting access to money, high income worth problems, like, hey, people need to put their money into real estate or else they're going to pay a ridiculous amount in taxes, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
high real estate, software or stuff that's going to consistently be working without you. Like these are the things that people should be thinking about daily. And then the other big thing is looking at your marketplace and building products that people want. What is it that's going to change the people around you's life right now? People are struggling to pay their bills. Okay, well, come join Credit Leverage X. We'll make sure that your bills are all going to get paid, and we'll give you opportunities to put your money to multiply that money. And then we're going to get you access to other people's money that are going to see that you're multiplying your money, and they're going to just scale from there. It just becomes this a different way of
Well,
thinking, a different way of looking at life,
yeah,
money in general.
and if the end of and if any, people don't know who we are, they should know, because at the end of the day, we're here to help you. We're here to coach
Mm-hmm.
you, and this is a program that we want to, besides the credit, besides the funding, right? The point of the program is to get you from 0 to 1,000 or 100, right, fast as possible, right? You want to get
Right.
from nothing to something as soon as possible. That's how you change your life. You go from making, let's say, 5,000 a month to 20,000 a month, and
Yeah.
you're not doing any more work. Then that's what makes a difference, right? So or at least remove your day-to-day job and go into a passive income or a business structure kind of income where you're actively making money. So main thing is, what I'm trying to say is, we are a program where we're here to help you. Our success is your success. Like my vision is for everybody to be able to access other people's money and change their life. That's the vision, right? We want to be able to
Right.
do that, get access to capital and change your life. And because you can't, I can't teach you skill sets, high paying skill sets, and change your life. I don't want to do that, because that's that requires more time and effort, and you may not learn it right away. Instead of wasting your time trying to learn skills, learn how to access other people's money, and let us help you put that money to work, because you can do it yourself. But if you screw it up, then you shot yourself forever, essentially, until you can fix that credit and that credibility with those banks. And then
Yeah.
and not be able to do that anymore. Now you have to work, or you have to learn a high paying skill. So it's like you really have a one shot, honestly, to do this. either you do it right or you're screwing yourself. And then you gotta start again every, like, it might take a year. Bankruptcy takes 7 years, right? But we can help remove those things, bring things back to reality. We can help you, show you how you can do that. That way you can do it and get it done. We're here to coach you, not just to fix your credit, not just to get your funding. We're here to get you to the next level and create those investment opportunities for you and your family. That's why we're here.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's just like, you want to build something that's going to make you generational wealth, like we've talked about, so a cash flowing business, a piece of real estate that's going to be around forever and consistently be turning in income every single month, cash flowing, passive income, like our campaign marketing, or having an AI trading bot or a software, or something that's just going to be working without you and making you money. Those are all the big things that, everybody should be looking into. And I mean, I do believe that there is passive income, but I think it also takes a lot of work up front, so if we're going to be doing the work up front to get you the passive income, we're going to figure it out. But, if there's something that you can basically have money right now to pay for it, that's going to make you money for the long run, that's what everybody should be focusing on. That's what everybody should be trying to invest into, because pay your future self, right? Figure out how to take care of the future version of yourself by having income coming in consistently, and figuring out what you're going to do, sacrifice maybe in a little bit in the short term, so that in the long run, you have something that you're proud of. You have a legacy to leave behind. You have something that's going to be bigger than you, you know what I mean? So that's kind of what my thinking is. And that's what you should be doing with your money.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I'm going to say right now, if you're not willing to put the work in and make that effort towards your own goals and your own dreams, then, just stay working, stay on your 9 to 5. Don't waste our time. Don't waste your time. Just keep working, and at least go learn a high paying skill,
Right.
But if you really want to change your life and you want to do it quick, and you want to be able to do it as soon as possible, or at least if you're tired of your job and you're sick of it and you want to change your life and do something else, or do something you love and make money while you're doing it, then join Credit Leverage X. Let us help you, make the right moves, because those chess moves can make you or break you. So, and
Right.
if you have the right coaches, you have the right mentors, you have the right path, the blueprint is there, then you will be successful, and we won't let you fail.
Yep. All right, guys, that's all we got for today. Check out creditleveragex.com. You can also book a call with myself or Gino, or send us a message, and we'll get back to you. All right. Have a good rest of your day. Let us know if you need anything. Peace.